Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Pommyinoz, and today we're just going to do a bit of a POM rant, a little bit of Poms pondering. It's the second time we've done one of these, and it's just me thinking and taking in what's happened over this weekend. If you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe, it really helps the channel out. If you are one of them Carlton fans that sees roses and poppycock all the time, probably switch off now. So we've just got over the event. I've recorded this video about 3 times and I've tried to heavily edit and try and dumb it down a little bit in the terms of the emotion and the passion. We did do one at 3 in the morning, which turned out to literally be probably a warning sign for my own detrimental mental health. We've just got back off watching Carlton, obviously have that very tight 1-point loss at the weekend. And, you know, I'm not surprised anymore. Those who know me know that I had a bit of a joke during the week that, you know, it was going to be the same old, and nothing has changed. And I've kind of become resigned to the fact that this club is just a big disappointment at the moment. And there's a lot of reasons why, and we're going to go through it into this video. But how I believe a fan should be is that we set the benchmark. And for me, there was kind of something that I was never happy with, and that was the Carlton to try and get Teague as the head coach. Fans do have tremendous power. You've got to remember that we are the voice of the club. Without a fan, the club ceases to exist. We're probably the most important commodity a football club or any sporting institution has. And for me, that was proven by the fact that our dedication, our vocal, our outspokenness eventually got us what we wanted in David Teague. And it's okay saying, oh, Dan, they went through a process, rah-de-rah-de-rah. I genuinely don't believe they went through as a thorough process, as once we started winning, you saw the turning point, people wanted the feel-good times to happen. And I always had this nagging thought, I've seen it a lot in soccer, success breeds expectation. You have to win, and if you don't win, you can go in a couple of weeks. And that is very fan-driven. I've seen some great coaches lose their job because of fan power. A great example is Arsenal Fan TV. Look at them. They're in a very similar boat to Carlton, I'd say, in quite the micro-transition. They've gone from being super successful to now they have a chairman that kind of is very focused on money and income. And the fans aren't happy with it. And I look, for the last 2 weeks, all we've heard is talk after David Teague, very early doors during COVID, said that talk is cheap. It's time for results. That's not talking. And then we've had Cripper pander around going, oh, we're coming. He did that real soppy we're in it together where if you watch it, he's reading from a script. I mean, come on, man. Where is the expectation from our fan base? To me, this whole bollocks of there's people making Carlton networks, saying, oh, we're a network. We're a business network. I spoke to someone recently who went to one of these Carlton business things, and they were being fed how amazing it is that they've got a couple of millionaires in there. But then they've got the handout to the AFL. These are meant to be lifelong millionaire fans. Well, you expect the common man to keep his membership during COVID when he's lost the thing, and all you fans went out there and slated anyone who asked for a refund. But we've got millionaires who have got disposable income, who are letting the club beg for money from the AFL. My mentality is we're Carlton fucking Football Club. We're not GWS, who are just a fictional franchise plucked out of one of Gillian's stupid ideas in between a Mackay and bloody him going to Buller skiing. These are a real club. There's freaking medals named after former players. Do you know what I mean? We've got greats like Nichols, Jezelenko, Cooter. These players are the fabric of the AFL. The VFL AFL competition wouldn't exist without these names. These are icons of the sport. And we're parading around, worried about financial transactions. And I'm telling you this, right? Forget AFL. If you're the kind of person who's focused on AFL all the time, you need to open your eyes. World sport has one simple law of economics. Be successful, make money. We take the piss that Richmond fans have only been there since 2017. It's probably true. It fucking happens. When you win competitions, you draw people in. The fact that we've got 70-odd thousand members or whatever it is a miracle just from good marketing, and the fact that we drip feed our fans bollocks and we lap it up. Like, people laugh at me. I go on Blue Abroad and I'm super positive. That's because I want to win and I believe we should be winning. We're Carlton Football Club. We're not Gold Coast, who've got history of failure. We're not Melbourne. We're a little bit different to that. We are the AFL. That C monogram that we wear on the front is probably one of the most iconic things in AFL. It's been around since the dawn of time. And we just accept mediocrity. And when you start accepting mediocrity, you've got a problem. And when I go through the forums, yes, some of you are changing. But these are the same people that haven't changed, who in 2018 was acceptable. And for me, I think the reason that we're pants is plainly obvious. Because the message coming out from the club filters down to the other players. And it's become a joke. The club has become a joke. Like, I shouldn't have to watch for 2 hours on Saturday just knowing what's happening. And the problem is on the field we're predictable, off the field we're predictable. We are so predictable. It's like at the moment me and my sons are reading a story about a witch. I can read it without looking at it because I've read it so many times. It's Carlton. I mean, a great case in point is Jesus came out. And I got sent a wonderful message by a good friend of mine, big fan of both channels, and said, Dan, who do you think it's going to be? And I had a bit of a piss take, and this is what I wrote. You would say it would come from one of our emergencies. So let's go through them. At the moment, we've got Philp, Kennedy, Williamson, and Lang on the emergency. So let's dissect how the Carlton list will think, how the Carlton structure will think of who should come in. Philp is logical as his pure pace. We know D struggle with the pace on the outside, so you can rule him out straight away because he's the footballing choice. Bam Bam is pants, but he's had a couple of good games at full forward, so he's a chance. Willow gives you the option to send someone else to the midfield. Very penetrating kick. We know metres gained is a very key facet for how you win football matches. So by that process of him having some skill sets that could potentially win you the game, it rules him out. Lang is the worst player out of all these four. Carlton froth him because 4 touches and kicking 1 goal is probably the most important thing. So lock him in. He'll replace Jesus. 6 hours later, we did that. And then 24 hours later, what did he have? 4 touches, kicked a goal and laid one off. I mean, it's just so predictable. And these first quarter starts, people are making it out like, oh my God, what is happening? David Teague said it himself in the press conference just recently. I don't know. Okay, well, David, I'm going to help you out. Watch Carlton play every first quarter. So far, this is our win-loss record for first quarters under David Teague. It's 10 losses, 1 draw and 3 victories. Those victories include Gold Coast Suns, Adelaide and West Coast Eagles. Now, we know what happened with the West Coast Eagles. They ended up winning the game. But Adelaide and Gold Coast, we ended up clinging on to win the game. Now, watch how we play structurally in the first quarter. We get the ball from half-back and we bomb it down the wing. We get the ball from the back pocket, we bomb it down the wing. It's kicking long. And then the second half, miraculously, this, whatever Teague does, I don't know what he says to them, he might remind them that they are actually paid fucking athletes who do a job to win games for people. They suddenly start playing it short, they're looking for handballs, looking for kicks. We know how effective short kicking and looking for a handball is down in the back line. Look at Collingwood against Richmond. They controlled 2 quarters of football against the best side in the competition by doing it. But Gold Coast and Adelaide have 0 forward pressure. It's been a problem with Adelaide for the last 3 years. They have got literally the defensive capabilities of Poland during World War II. It folds like butter. So kicking long is brilliant because there is no one to get the ball back. You can afford to turn it over at half-back and the ball's just going to hit the deck and you'll be able to be away. West Coast, they play a real high press, so there is space down the back. It's a risk though, but it can come off and some days it goes your way. These are probably the 3 best sides to boot it long to down the wing because 2 of them are inept and 1 of them doesn't play that. They look to try and focus the little strength and make you try and lure you into a short kick. They have that trap where they leave centre half back free. Do you dare go through the corridor against them? They're looking to bring it down. They're 3 of the best teams to do that ridiculousness to. And the reason I believe we do it, and I mean this with my hand on heart, I think we do it because that is the plan. I actually think the game plan is see how they play. And to me, there is not a passion. Aside from maybe Wheater in that first quarter, no one looked like they gave a fuck. And what annoys me the most is when you listen to the press conference, he said, what did you say to the players? He said, I spoke to the midfield group and said they had to get on it. Put some pressure, get your head over the ball. That is the definition of a midfielder, ladies and gentlemen. That is what you do. Melbourne aren't even tough. Most pundits have them from 12 to 18. You should be beating these sides. If Teague is dropping press conference after bloody media article in Carlton media saying we're getting better, that's a no-brainer. You beat Melbourne then. If you're getting better, you want to be top 12, top 8, you have to put Melbourne to the sword. You can't... This team is just simply not good enough. There is too many hangers-on in this team. There is way too many. We've got issues as a football club when in the first quarter you've got Plowman who's playing behind his man. Like, fuck me. Behind his man, no intensity, getting thrown around like a rag doll. You've got Simo, SPS, Casbolt were woeful in the first quarter. Two of them people were senior figures at this football club. If they're not up for the fight, what hope have we got that Walsh and all the young players are? The only person who puts up any fight is Wheatering. And I feel sorry for Wheatering because in the last 3 games he's played Lynch, Hawkins and McDonald, who has a huge record against Carlton, and kept them to jack diddly squat. The guy is a beast. But around him he's got boys. And it's sad that he's a young kid and we're calling them boys. The decision making in the fourth when the game is on the line, we shouldn't have even been there. We don't deserve to be there. And for me to praise working hard and losing is stupid. I'm a parent. You don't praise mediocrity. You don't praise making the same mistake again and not adapting to it. We shouldn't be in that position simply. And if you're a kind of fan that, and this is it, and this, I blame the club and I blame the fans for it, we're looking at stupid shit. We're looking at stupid reasons to like this football club. And it's not a social group. It's not a business networking club. It's a football club. CFC. Football. The key aim of football is to win matches. You don't do it for entertainment. You don't do it for something to do on a Saturday afternoon. The whole process of being in a football club is to win. Whether you're Gold Coast, whether you're West Coast, whether you're Carlton, the whole rule book is structured around so you win. You win. That is the definition. Who wins the game? Who wins the game? Disappointment when you draw because no one won. Like, it's real simple logic, people. And we're allowing it. And when you've got first quarters where they're 20 plus disposals up, 13-5 inside 50s, 7 contested possessions more, 5 clearances more, and 10 tackles when you've had less of the ball is madness. Like, I feel like sometimes I'm the only one seeing it. And I've seen a couple of soppy videos this week where everyone suddenly is seeing what I've been seeing. And it's killing me, man. It's killing me. We're Carlton Football Club. We're not a mug team. And have a bit of fight. Start holding these players to task. What the hell was Doherty doing 2 minutes away with a game on the line? Handballing over the biggest oaf you've ever seen. And what annoyed me the most is I watched Hawthorn versus Geelong. And there was a great passage of play where Hawthorn were holding firm. Warple put a suicidal handball to Mitchell. He got nailed and you could see Clarkson was livid. You could see he was fierce. He was furious. He went out at the end and said it was a 4th grade midfield effort. And he snapped to Teague when he's handballed and turned it over and it's been clustered out of bounds. And he's got that grin that says, oh, here we go again. Here we go again. You're right. This is the 13th, 14th time we've covered the results. It's happened. And we accept it with this bollocks that the boys are getting better, they're young. Look at 2017. Look at 2017. And you see, I blame 3 things. I blame Teague. I blame the teachings to the players, not in skill development, in what it means to be a footballer. People have lost their jobs during this COVID, right? So they're very fortunate to be there, I think. A lot of them are stealing a wage. Like, you're playing for one of the best teams in the world. And the third thing I blame is recruitment. Like, we look at 2017, right? And you look at the trash we took. Like, Lobb, Angus Schumacher, Garlett, Cam O'Shea and Matt Shaw. Where are they now? Like, one of them's blooming ploughing potatoes in Ireland, and the other 4 are blooming having sombreros in the middle of nowhere. Matt Kennedy brought in to help Cripps. Can he help Cripps? Does he have the intensity? He's had a couple of good games where he's somehow found himself at full forward and kicked goals on nobody. Darcy Lang, how is he still there? How? What does he bring? Like, you get these clowns saying he was brilliant at Geelong. I said it once. But when you're next to Selwood and Danger, you'll look pretty tasty as well because they do the hard work for you. Like, Lockie O'Brien, I mean, the one that blags my head is 2017, right? Look at 2017, 2018, right? We got rid of Matty Wright and when we had Matty Wright, we needed a small forward, a crummer, right? Even when he was there, right? There's Jaden Stevenson, who, I'm going to read you a quote from the Scouting Network. Easily the best small forward in the draft. Game-winning ability written all over him. Has X Factor. He's on the draft board, and we take Paddy Dow, who we have a lot of. And we take Lockie O'Brien, who... that we've probably got more Lockie O'Briens than Lockie O'Brien's ever seen in his life. We've got a lot of players who play on the outside who kick the ball, and they've got a little bit. Like, it's... The recruitment has been woeful, and I'm sorry, but these players just simply aren't good enough. Like... These aren't... We haven't got time, ladies and gentlemen. This rebuild has been going for over 5 years. You can't just keep saying it will get better when it clearly isn't. Like, a mistake by definition to me is it happens once or twice. Once it's third time, it's hereditary. This is 13 times of we turn up and we can't be arsed. And Carlton should be arsed. Because we're better than that, man. We should be stuffing Melbourne. They're not even a real football club, man. Like, Melbourne are what I am talking about. The worst thing about Carlton at the moment is we're becoming a middle-class, white-collar breeding ground of mediocrity. Like, to me, if you're the kind of dickhead who makes money from my club and uses it as social standing, you're an idiot. Because sport is working class. It's for us. It's not for you. It's for us. It's about passion. It's about winning games. And we don't win games. Clearly don't give two fucks. And that is the reasoning behind it. The fans don't. The club doesn't. And you can see it's written in every media article. You guys drip feed and lap up. And it needs to stop. You created petitions. You screamed. You shouted. You got into arguments when you wanted Teague. Where's that for winning? Because that's all that matters. Cooter's a legend because he worked hard and won football matches. Rant is a legend because he worked hard in football matches, not because he was helping you sell your next car or make your next business deal selling a fence or helping you go around to someone and go, oh, by the way, I've got some advertising space. By the way, I'm a Carlton fan. He did it because he won you games. Expect that. Zach Fisher's good enough to win you football matches. SPS is good enough to win you football matches. We've got a lot of talented players on the list. But what I'm questioning is the fight and desire. When I see Patrick Cripps at first bounce having a giggle with Clayton Oliver, I ain't happy. You're a big f***ing oaf of a bloke. Bump him. Let him know what you're about. We're Carlton Football Club. Every morning we should go out. Every morning. And draw the line on the sand and say you're playing Carlton Football Club. No pushovers. No stragglers. Once more into the breach, dear friends. Once more. And now I've got to prepare and look at stats and try and find something exciting for you all against Geelong. And there isn't anything exciting against Geelong because that performance, when I watched the live with Dane Rawlins, good mate of mine, I said, this is a worrying sign how we capitulated. Geelong will cut us apart if we turn up like that. You've got to be tough to the ball. You've got to be strong. I hope I'm wrong because I love this football club. I adore this football club. This football club is a family to me. Do you know what I mean? My whole family, everything, my new family, the one that I married into, are Carlton fans. I can't keep watching that shit. I can't. It's like being in a bad relationship, man. And everyone's saying that it'll get better, there's some positives. There is no positives. We've been shit for 10 years. It's time to change. Stop putting media articles saying we're changing and start fucking doing it. Believe in what you say. Because this monogram here means something to a lot of fucking people, man. Teague, if you're watching this, boys, if you're watching this, you're Carlton, you've got 75,000 people behind you. If you can't go into battle with that, what are you doing with your lives? Because wars have been won. People have died for less. Win football matches, man. Show some heart. Show some passion. Sorry, guys. I need to get it out. As always, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you think. What would you change? I love you all implicitly. I hope you have a wonderful week. And for those who aren't Carlton fans, I'm sorry, but I hope you've seen a Carlton fan lose it. Pom out.